What's going on, y'all? This is Chris of To The Window. Happy Friday. Checking in with y'all before the weekend. Wanted to give you a quick rundown of my bets that I'm going to take to the window today for Footy Friday, focusing again on the English Premier League and focusing on Major League Soccer. I'm going to focus on the English-speaking leagues because obviously we are an English-speaking channel. So before I get into it, make sure you like, subscribe. Please go watch all of our videos about the NFL draft because Jemiah killed it. Super happy for him. Can't wait to give him a high five shortly when I see him. So with that said, I won't waste any more time. We're going to get right into it. Very first thing I'll do is give you a quick update on the MLS action from this week. Then I'll get into the Premier League, come back to MLS at the end. That's it. So as far as the midweek went, as always, y'all, we take the over in every MLS game. That is a evergreen bet on this channel. It will be until the end of time. 60% of the games in midweek hit on the overs. That's 6 out of 10. And so for the season, that puts us at 84 out of 129 matches that came in on the over. Y'all, it's 65% of the games they're playing in this league. You are simply leaving money on the table if you are not just betting the over for every match every week. That said, on the individual results, we only hit on 1 out of 3, so 1 and 2 for the week. I'm done trying to find value betting against Messi with short weeks, and I should know better. So that's a me thing, hopefully not a you thing. So that was the midweek stuff. Regarding the bets for this weekend, I want to jump across the pond before I come back here to the States to finish up. Looking at the Premier League matches happening this weekend, today, Friday, April 24th, there's only one match, which is Sunderland versus Nottingham Forest. For me, the only play in this game is going to be under 2.5 goals scored. I saw that at minus 145 earlier on DraftKings. Not a lot of recent history between these two clubs to kind of lean on. The last 2 times they played, there were 3 goals scored combined. So if you really want to get a bet in on a Friday, maybe include this as a parlay with a bet on basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever else you're looking at for your card today. So that's the match for today. Getting into tomorrow, Saturday, April 25th, handful of games. There's 6 of them I saw on the card. Only 3 of them I'm going to make recommendations on. I'll get to the why in a second. The first one is Aston Villa versus Fulham. I'm taking Aston Villa at the money line at plus 150. Villa has won the last 5 matches they've had in the Premier League against Fulham. Yes, it is at Craven Cottage, but based on recent form of Aston Villa and based on the history here, is Fulham probably due? Yes, but is that a big enough thing for me to ignore at this point? No, I can't do it. So I'm going to ride with Aston Villa. They got to continue to try to solidify where they're at in the table. Them and Man U are neck and neck on points. So every point matters to them. Fulham's relatively locked in where they are. So Villa's got a reason to go for it. I think they get it done. Villa on the money line plus 150. After that, we go to West Ham versus Everton. And this to me is a super interesting one. I'm taking a draw in this match at plus 240. Reason for it being West Ham badly needs points. It's going to be the battle. I hate to say the battle of who could care less, to quote Ben Folds, but West Ham and Tottenham, they're going to be in it between now and the end of the year. And so West Ham is at home in this matchup. Everton's bouncing back off of a, for them anyway, unfortunate late goal that they gave up to Liverpool last week in the Merseyside derby. West Ham's at home. I don't think they win outright. I'm going to say the draw at plus 240 because 3 of the 5 last matchups they've had in the Premier League were draws. So Everton's also kind of locked in where they are. Like there could be a minute here where you see some shakeup in the like 6 to 12 spots in the Prem, but I do think for the most part where teams are with Europe and all of that stuff is locked in. So that said, it is a match that will happen. Both teams to score potentially, but the draw plus 240, I love the value there. So that's the play in that match. Wolves and Spurs is also happening on Saturday, and this is a fascinating one for a number of reasons, guys. I mean, Spurs is in crisis. You've heard us talk about it. I don't have to go there. Wolves are relegated, but the weird thing, if you haven't watched the Premier League in the past, relegated teams do a funny thing at the end of the season where it's almost like they have nothing left to lose, so fuck it, we're going to go for it. I don't love either of these teams to win. I don't love a draw. I legitimately don't know what to do as far as a result goes, but I know that under 2.5 goals at plus 115 is a play that I really like. So that said, could it hit? For sure at 115, relatively low risk there, but the decent payout. If you really want to go crazy, you're feeling spicy, or you're a spiteful Arsenal fan who is holding on for dear life, Wolves at plus 340 just for the LOL factor, go for it. But yeah, I love an under there at plus 115, Wolves Spurs. The three other games that are happening on Saturday, I'm staying away from because I don't see any value in Newcastle, Arsenal, excuse me, Crystal Palace, and Liverpool. And then on Monday, well, I said 3 games, 2 games on Saturday, 1 game on Monday, Brentford and United. I don't see value in any of those 3 Premier League matches. The books are asking for big wins by Arsenal and Liverpool. They're both getting -1.5 right now. I don't see either of those happening based on current form. Man United is currently favored -120 on Monday. Maybe that's a good parlay bet on that day. Maybe that number moves a little bit, but they've also lost their last 2 against Brentford. So, and that fixture historically has a lot of goals in it, but right now the goal over 2.5 number is at -180. So again, there's no value in any of these bets unless you include them in a parlay. So stay away from those matchups. I've given you 4 other Premier League matchups this weekend to look at. Take a look at them. So last but not least, we're coming back over here to the good old US of A to talk Major League Soccer. And the first one, I'll get this one out of the way. Toronto FC, I'm taking them -115 at home against Atlanta United. My beloved United. I'm looking at United gear above this computer right now. As much as I love this club, they are dog shit. And they just blew a lead at home to New England. Toronto had a high-scoring draw over the weekend. Now for United, they have to get on a plane, fly up there. The juju's bad. Toronto's at home. I mean, I don't love a lot about it, but I also I don't think this team is good. I think Tata Martino, I hate to say it, will probably end up getting fired at some point. This is how bad it is. So Toronto -115 over Atlanta United. Throw it in a parlay if you want to give it a little bit of extra juice. Of the other 3 that I've identified, we're going to go to interesting one for me was looking at Montreal versus New York City FC. Normally, I would say NYCFC all day. Fascinating thing about this is that only a handful of teams didn't play in MLS during midweek, and Montreal is one of those. So for me to say Montreal's playing at home, they've got NYCFC coming off of a 4-4 draw against Cincinnati. That means they went for it on Wednesday. They're playing again on Saturday. Yes, that it's not like that flight from New York to Montreal is that long, but Montreal's going to have fresher legs. The books even seem to be a little wishy-washy on it, but NYCFC has admittedly not cashed a lot of straight-up bets for me this year. So, all right, boys, let's see if you can prove me wrong for once. Montreal +170 at home over New York City Football Club. A match that I didn't expect to be talking about this weekend as being a sexy matchup, because when you think of bigger clubs in MLS, Minnesota is not one of them. But if you look at the table right now, they have the exact same record and number of points as LAFC. Those 2 clubs play each other on Saturday afternoon. I believe it's the national TV game. Minnesota's won 5 in a row. LAFC has been stumbling a little bit. They had a 0-0 at home during the week. They had lost big last week, and I think it was 4-1 if memory serves me right. So for me, this is kind of reaching a point now with LAFC of we're going to start to see, are they really as good as we think they are? So I'm gonna put my neck out here on Los Angeles Football Club to go on the road to find their way back. The value for them is taking them on the money line +165. Minnesota was listed +140. I get it, but admittedly, this is for me. I want to know if LAFC are going to be able to bounce back from where they've been. So it should be a fun game to watch. But yeah, let's go with LAFC +165. Good value, and let's see if they can bounce back. Only other one I have for the weekend is Real Salt Lake on Sunday over the LA Galaxy. Real Salt Lake +170 on the money line. That is your play here. I like them to bounce back from Messi beating them in the middle of the week. It's their second game in 4 days at home, so there's no travel here. The Galaxy were on the road in Columbus on Wednesday and lost. They now go, squad's a little bit older. They now go to altitude to play in Salt Lake late Sunday evening. Can the Galaxy really handle their second road game in 4 days at altitude? I really don't know. I really don't think so. So for me, the Galaxy at +170, not Galaxy, Real Salt Lake +170 over the Galaxy. That's the move. And as always, we're taking the overs because why the hell wouldn't you? So to give you guys a quick recap, and then I will get out of your hair. For the Premier League this weekend, we are going Sunderland Forest under 2.5 goals, Aston Villa on the money line, a draw, and West Ham Everton, and under 2.5 goals, Wolves and Spurs. Avoid everything else in England. Toronto FC over Atlanta United on the money line, Montreal on the money line over NYCFC, and LAFC on the money line over Minnesota, and Real Salt Lake on the money line over the Galaxy. So that's what I've got for now. Curious to know if there's any other matchups that jump out to you guys. Admittedly, we're at the point in England now where it's going to be about jockeying about position for those who are able to. And in MLS, I think we're going to start to see some teams emerge that we weren't expecting. And I think some favorites are going to fall off. So a very interesting inflection point in both seasons, even though they're at different ends of the calendar. So that's everything I got for you guys today. Once again, this is Chris of To The Window. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment all the videos that Jemai and I share on this channel. Make sure you get these bets into the window. I'll give you guys a recap on this when he and I come together. Probably Monday, could be Tuesday. We'll figure it out. Talk to him about it today. But I'm going to get this over to him so he can edit this SOB. And I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you at the window. Bye.